Vought International, formerly known as Vought American, is an American multi-billion-dollar superhero entertainment conglomerate, currently led by Homelander, with Ashley Barrett serving as the puppet CEO. It was previously led by Stan Edgar and previously managed by Madeline Stillwell. The company is famous for founding the Seven and managing the global population of licensed soups. Vought also has several other industries, including but not limited to TV networks, sports drink companies, music apps, and fast food chains. The corporation is also extremely corrupt and aims for world domination, being founded by former Third Reich member Frederick Vought. Let me tell you why Vought sucks. Vought International, as a corporation, is highly merciless and will do everything and anything if it means pleasing their stockbrokers. Vought's quest to maintain its vast wealth and power often comes at the cost of the innocent lives they have ruined. The vast majority of notable Vought employees have been shown to be extremely corrupt and nefarious individuals. While at first glance, the company seems to care about being progressive and inclusive, it is nothing more than a thinly veiled facade. In reality, almost all of the individuals that hold positions of power within the company are either apathetic or abusive sociopaths. Despite the company's corporate progressivism that it constantly proclaims in its marketing and products, Vought also has serious racial equity and representation issues that it has never bothered to solve, and has a long history of racism that appears to be persistent to this day.
All the more concerning considering the company has ties to the Nazi Party and its founding by a Nazi scientist, since it was revealed that 92% of their soups are Caucasian, whereas only 6% are African American and the last 2% are divided between Asians and Latinos, in addition to being racially hegemonic.
Vought has notable issues when it comes to its treatment of female superheroes. According to Starlight, there was never a superhero team led by a woman before she was appointed as the co-leader of the Seven, also indicating a gender bias of leadership in the company. Despite multiple women, such as Ashley Barrett and Madeline Stillwell, holding positions of power, Vought has been shown to have a culture of silence as well, where any evidence or rumors of wrongdoing by the superheroes they own is quietly swept under the rug. Such as the video showing Homelander accidentally killing a teenager in Africa being scrubbed off the internet and bribing victims of soups with low compensation from speaking out. Many employees, especially the higher UPS, have a decidedly indifferent and blasé attitude towards internal corruption. A scene where Stillwell apparently knew about the Deep's history of sexual misconduct but decided not to do anything until Starlight publicly spoke out against him. Among the members of the Seven, almost all of them are morally bankrupt and completely disinterested in helping anyone other than themselves, with Starlight being the only member of the team who actually cares about people and actively refuses to be like her colleagues. Queen Maeve was originally a similar position as Starlight when she first joined the team, but she quickly started to feel so exhausted from the corruption and greed surrounding the Seven that she eventually just gave up being hero and choosing instead to become a mere bystander. To her teammates' grotesque behavior, silently watching them carry on with their callous acts. The only times Vought seems to care about corruption is when it becomes public knowledge and if they could scapegoat someone else in order to avoid bad PR. Such as Stan Edgar blaming Kenji Maeshiro for Stormfront's massacre of a predominantly black residential building during a press conference about the incident. And with that, let's talk about Homelander. Homelander is a rip-off of Superman and Captain America. If you like Superman and Captain America, I respect your opinion. Let's talk about what the horrible things he has done. Each season of The Boys has seen the Deep try to redeem himself after his diabolical act on Starlight. In Season 3, Homelander helps the Deep to skip a few steps and rejoin the Seven. There is only one condition, a celebration meal in which the group eats seafood. Homelander stares at the Deep, enforcing his power over him as he demands that the sea-loving superhero eats the octopus known as Timothy. A dear friend of the Deep. It's a gross moment, and one that shows the pleasure Homelander gets through the mental and physical torture of those beneath him. Nothing gets in the way of Homelander. The character will punish anyone who defies him or lies to him. Queen Maeve was no exception, and on Live TV, Homelander outs Maeve to the world as a lesbian. This shocked Maeve, for she is bisexual, and did not want the limelight on her sexuality so that her girlfriend was not harassed. Maeve was then reduced to a PR stunt in the 7, in which her sexual identity became aligned the center of her image for the superhero group. Homelander's public outing of Queen Maeve is horrible, for someone not ready to let the world know who she is. As the anti-Superman, Homelander pays homage to one of Superman's more powerful moments, in all the wrong ways. Despite having ultimate power, it is Superman's compassion that makes him a hero. When a girl prepares to jump to her death, Superman talks to her, instead of just forcing her back to safety. The same cannot be said for Homelander. A character with no compassion, Homelander stares at the suicidal victim and forces her to jump off the roof to her death. It shows how little he cares for human lives, and how this was just a PR stunt that he does not care about. A superhero known as Doppelganger can shapeshift. This includes becoming the person that they shift into, including their voice. Homelander abuses Doppelganger after Stillwell's death, to have the sexual relationship he always wanted with her. Homelander putting Doppelganger through such abuse is only furthered when Doppelganger transforms into Homelander. Believing that the hero's megalomaniac personality will have him love himself, Homelander responds by snapping Doppelganger's neck. There is a constant tug-of-war between good and evil in the boys. One occurrence is that of Ryan. Ryan is the biological son of Butcher's wife and Homelander. Ryan has the powers of Homelander, but the compassion of his mother. As a child, it makes him easily manipulatable for how he needs a father in both Butcher and Homelander. Homelander abuses Ryan mentally, by calling him weak and pathetic. In Season 3, he turns Ryan on Butcher and shows him to the world as his proud son. The last thing the world needs is two Homelanders. Toward the end of Season 3, things seem to be ramping up in the civilian world. People are divided on whether to support Homelander or not, based on the exposing videos released by Starlight. When Homelander introduces his followers to his son, a protester throws something at Ryan. Homelander's response isn't peaceful resolve, but to use his heat vision and explode the man as dead. His followers watch in shock, before breaking into a cheer and roar of celebration for their leader's murder of an innocent man. Stormfront was a character introduced in Season 2, and quickly became despised. Stormfront was an antagonist to the show and had no care for anyone but white people. She revealed herself as a Nazi, and despite Homelander knowing, he still engaged in a romantic relationship with her. When it became public knowledge that Stormfront was a Nazi, Homelander did multiple interviews and talk shows saying that he fell for the wrong woman. As Homelander still loved Stormfront, and secretly saw her in her hospital room every day. Perhaps the hardest scene to watch in the entire series, the boys' transoceanic Flight 37 is one of the most horrific acts of Homelander. What should have been a simple extraction and saving of civilians on a commercial airplane, soon became a disaster with hundreds of innocents dead. Homelander accidentally destroyed the cockpit, making the plane unable to land safely. Homelander threatens the passengers and leaves everyone on board to die a horrible death. This is one of his earliest acts of evil, and one of his most haunting ones. No one is safe from Homelander, not even the potential recruits that Ashley has picked out as candidates for the 7. Despite her hard work in trying to find someone to give them diversity in the group, Homelander decided to decline. Blindspot is a daredevil-like character that is blind and uses his other senses to make up for his lack of sight, and he's also a well-trained fighter. Rather than giving Blindspot a chance, Homelander boxes the man's ears and deafens him, and while Blindspot screamed and writhed on the floor in a pool of his blood, Homelander gave Ashley a stern talking to. Blindspot's fate is unknown. However, most believe he is dead after Homelander's assault. Homelander showed that Supes could provide a great help to the military by completing a military mission all by himself. However, he did this by slicing dozens of foreign hostiles in half with his laser beams without even a second thought. This impressive showing of power from Homelander demonstrated that he could be a one-man army, but the way he handled the situation without any moral decency spoke to the innate evil of the character, and his no-mercy attitude. Any hope fans had that Homelander was any better than the other dark and selfish heroes in The Boys was gone by the first episode. Homelander took down the plane flying the mayor of Baltimore after he brought up Compound V in a business deal with Madeline. This was one of Homelander's earliest and most iconic, evil act in The Boys, having the mayor's son look out the window at Homelander as a beacon of hope, only to see his glowing red eyes show that Homelander is just as evil as they come and would kill anyone he deemed a threat to his reputation. Homelander is the worst Supe in the world. He's a jerk, a psychopath, and a villain. End of rant.